Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Is that not a gorgeous little chainsaw? $10 is what the guy was asking for it. Almost unbelievable. Check that out. That's like it's embroidered, but you know, it's stamped into the magnesium. Super cool little saw. Well, the chain looks good, but boy, she is super dull. It just will not cut a thing. Look at this saw. This thing is just super cool. Easy. I say super cool. A little bit of information. Looks like she was introduced in 1986 as well as discontinued in 1986. And she is 40.9 cc's of awesomeness. Let's check this thing out. Looks like the oil fills here, so I'm assuming it's an auto oiler. I don't know much about these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an auto and a manual oiler because it has the push thumb back here, the manual oiler that you would work with your thumb. Fuel load up top, and smells like it's got some really nice fuel in it, but doesn't look bad either. And guys, that muffler appears to be stainless steel or maybe chrome plated. It's not the typical rust bucket that you normally see on the vintage Homelite saws. Check that out. That chrome won't get you home when you broke down on the side of the road. That's what I was always told. Again, super cool. What I'm going to do, and I'll just go ahead and spoil it. This saw does run. It ran the day I've got it. Story behind it. The same flea market we normally go to over in eastern Tennessee. The wife and I purchased some windows for our cabin we are building over on our property if I ever get it completed. And we had pulled the vehicle around to get those, but as we were leaving, my wife spotted this saw. She is good at that, sitting under a bench. So I wheeled in, asked the gentleman, "Hey, what do you want for that?" He said, "I'll take $10 for it." But sadly, I was out of cash. So we went to the nearest ATM. I told him, I said, "I do want it." I said, "I will be right back." So it took us all of 10 minutes. Went and got a little cash out of the ATM and picked this up for $10. Funny thing being, he said, "Hey, do you want me to start it?" I said, "Oh, does it run?" He said, "Yes, it runs great. Starts easy." I said no because I've got to haul it in the car and don't want the fumes. So I trust you for $10. I'll start it when I get home, and lo and behold, when I got it home, and I've had this over a year, maybe all of 2 years, it busted right up, right off, fired up, sounds good. Everything on it seems functional, all but a dull chain and loose chain. But with that said, what I'll do next is we are going to pull this chain off camera. Come on guys, it's 2 bar nuts. I'm going to throw it on the grinder and see if we can get a good edge back on it, and we'll go out, fire this thing up, put some bar oil in it, and see how 40.9 cc's of 1986 awesomeness really does cut. Okay, so we got that race ground chain, those index strakers. I actually miss watching his videos. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, you ain't been around the saw community very long at all. One more thing I thought was super cool on this Super EZ, and it does say it's an automatic, so that would be automatic oiler. I can't believe I missed that, but right there we have a ton of compression. What I noticed, if you set the high speed idle, it engages a decomp. That is super cool on this Super EZ chainsaw. Again, gorgeous saw. I have verified the mechanical oiler does work on it. Alright, she's on high idle. May need a little choke. So we have a tight spot in the bar and chain set up for some reason. Normally just running the saw will eliminate that. Could have a burr on that spur sprocket or something, or a burr on one of the drivers of the chain, but I think we'll go out back and see if she'll make a cut. If she does, she does. She don't, she don't. I think this would be more like a wall hanger to me anyway. Again, just a beautiful saw. Okay guys, so this is a pretty good sized piece of wood. It's sound. Probably going to be all that little saw wants. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, the saw's starving for fuel in the cut, but when it did get fuel in the beginning, felt like it was somewhat powerful for basically a 40cc saw. Those old reed saws, they really produce a lot of torque, but culprit being, we got a rotten fuel line. That thing, probably the one not that even came in strainer on it. You can see it's just mush. It was kind of a miracle that this thing was even pulling tank fuel at all and running. Super simple setup on this Super EZ saw. The carb jetting on it was actually pretty good when I checked it, but I set things back to about 1.5, and kind of run the same as it did. And again on that is stamped or raised, or when it was poured or whatever, it's kind of like an embroidery on a nice hat or a nice shirt. Very, very nice. Again, super easy, super cool in my opinion, like a little miniature hot rod. And as far as putting a fuel line in it today, well, it's kind of getting a little dingy, dusky outside. I've been out here long enough, and honestly, I doubt that I have the proper fuel line here to fit that saw, so we'll do a little bit of homework on that. And that bar, the tip in it, just sounds god awful. So with that said, for 10 bucks, I don't think you can beat it. Going rate on one of these is anywhere from $1.50 to over 200, so I'd say we done pretty good. I'll do a little homework on the fuel line. We'll get that lined out, get a fuel line in it, make sure the carb's good and clean, which I would say it's fine. It's pulling fuel and running pretty good till you put it in the cut with that rotten fuel line. We will also locate a better bar that the tip doesn't sound like it's going to explode on. That's what the grabbing and the catching and the chain was. It's the bar tip's about to go. You can probably notice with all of the nice rust and patina on that bar that she is probably the one that came on it and is probably set in a cool, damp place. So with all that said, thank you guys for stopping by. Everybody have a great day.